Amandeep pushed me on the ground just to save a ball, and I actually saved it, I think.
I guess that also kind of made me doubt my own abilities as to whether getting into the main 12 was enough.
Fights on court? Have you ever seen one?
Maybe secret fights where
Secret fight.
the opponent pinch you from the back or something like that.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Help Desk. I'm your host Drew, and on today's episode we have Netball Singapore national team athletes Amandeep, Kaur, Chahal and Yi Jie. They are joining us to talk about their career in netball, about the sacrifices they have to make to be national athletes, because obviously it involves a ton of sacrifice to make it work. They are headed off to a competition in Dubai next week, so super grateful for them spending their time with us to talk about that. They also answer your questions about relationships and about finding motivation in life. I think it was a fun episode. I enjoyed hearing about what it's like to be a national athlete here. So I hope you guys enjoy it too, and I'll dial up the episode. Amandeep, Yi Jie, thanks so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having us.
You guys are about to go off to Dubai, right? Next week.
Yep.
I mean, as we're recording this, it will be next week.
Yeah.
I think by the time it goes out, you might
that's
already
really
be in
fast.
Dubai or just about to depart. Yeah. How's that? What's going on in Dubai? Let me know about that.
So we are having a UAE Cup where we will be playing against really big countries like Kenya, Namibia.
UAE themselves.
Yes.
USA.
Republic of Ireland. Yeah.
Okay.
So these are invitational countries where they'll just bring these countries together who have similar rankings to play together. Is that right? Yeah.
And is it like a World Cup kind of thing? What's the level of the, how would you describe the competition in football terms? I don't know.
In football terms. Yeah, I don't really watch football.
Okay. I mean in non-netball terms, I guess.
I would say it's a pretty decent competition. The matchups will be pretty close.
Yeah.
Because as Yi Jie said, it's our rankings are pretty close in general. So
Okay, all the teams there are ranked pretty closely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty
okay.
similar to what we have in Singapore, yearly where we organize the Nations Cup where different countries will come together with similar rankings just to play it out. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so is this some sort of qualifier for a bigger tournament, or it's just a tournament on its own?
just a tournament.
Yeah, I think it's just to build up our playing style, especially with a new coach, just to see how we will play together.
Yeah.
And then obviously we are playing towards SEA Games, so this is something that's good for us.
Yeah. So less than 2 weeks out, maybe about 1.5 weeks out from flying over to Dubai. How are you guys feeling now? What's the nervousness level out of 10? 10 being really anxious, really nervous, 1 being, I don't know, couldn't care less.
I feel like it hasn't hit me yet. It normally hits on the day of the competition, but I'm really excited to fly out with the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably for me around 6, 7, but probably towards the competition will be a bit more. Yeah.
Okay. Netball. Tell me a bit about how you guys got into netball. Maybe let's start with Amandeep.
So I started playing in primary 3. You're regular, you gotta sign up for a CCA in primary school sort of thing. Yeah, so I kind of wanted to play volleyball, but my mom put netball as my first choice.
Okay, why? Why'd she do that?
I think she played when she was younger and she was like, yeah, you'll like it.
Did you tell your mom that you wanted to do volleyball?
Yeah, but she's like, nah, netball. So she just put it there and then I started playing. My primary school wasn't really good at it, but I kind of stuck with the sport because I loved it. I began to grow into it and stuff. Yeah, so I stuck on, and I guess the rest just kind of build on from there. Yeah.
Okay. How about yourself, Yi Jie?
For me, netball is pretty big in my school.
Okay.
Yeah,
what school is that?
St. Margaret's Primary.
Okay.
Yeah, some will call it the Krispy Kreme school, but yeah.
Oh, because of the
uniform.
That's right.
Yes, but it's one of the biggest sports in the school, and I thought it was really cool. Like people who are playing it.
Yeah.
And I want to be the cool kids now. Just kidding, but that's one of how.
It was your first choice?
Yeah.
Your
first
mom didn't
choice.
pick it for you?
No, I think they couldn't care less. They're just just do whatever I want. Yeah.
Yeah. Is netball for people who don't know anything about netball, how popular is netball in Singapore? Where does it rank in terms of women's sports? Sorry.
I would think number 1 actually.
Number 1?
I mean, I keep seeing videos on TikTok.
Totally non-biased view on the
I
popularity
keep seeing
of
TikToks
netball.
about CCAs in school, and then they rank netball as a very popular girls' sport. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I
What
would
would be
say-
number 2?
Volleyball? I don't know.
Okay.
I have no idea. Actually.
idea.
I can't think of
Choir.
Wow.
No.
So netball is that
Quite
far
fast.
ahead that you can't even think about number 2?
Yeah.
I think most other sports would be not solely for girls. I mean,
Yeah.
like volleyball, is
Tennis,
played
maybe.
by
I don't know.
both genders.
Okay.
So yeah.
So in both of your schools, I mean, you mentioned St. Margaret's and
Yeah.
how it was the most popular sport there,
Yeah.
most popular CCA. Was it also super popular in your school, Amandeep?
Not so much in my primary school,
Okay.
but more so in my secondary school and JC. Yeah.
Did you ever try volleyball in the end?
I don't know. We just play for fun sometimes as a warm up game before training, but we all pretty much suck at it. So I think we should
never,
stick to netball.
You were just with netball from primary school, and then that's
Yeah.
it. You're like, this is the rest of
Committed
my life.
to it.
Decided.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, do you ever have that conversation with your mom? You'll be like, you know,
I don't
like,
even think
look at
she
what I'm doing.
knows that like she did it unintentionally, but yeah, it is what it is.
Okay, but you remember it. How
Yeah, I
old when
do.
you? How old? Like primary 3? Is that when people
Yeah.
start signing up for CCAs?
Yeah, pretty
Primary
much.
3. So you've held that grudge with you since primary 3.
I mean,
my
it's not
mom's
really a
decided my whole
grudge,
life.
but
You could be a
I mean-
volleyball player now. Do you ever think
I mean,
about
you
that?
wouldn't know what that route would have turned out like.
Yeah.
This is pretty successful, I would say. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. True. So speaking of that, I mean, like, tell me about how you guys ended up making that transition from just playing it as part of your CCA to, like, I don't know, taking it a bit more seriously, and then, you know, becoming national athletes, I guess.
I think for me, it's just I think after primary school, like I just wondering like which secondary school I should go to, and then my coach just thought that I should go trial for Singapore Sports School, and then
Yeah.
I think it's through that experience in Singapore Sports School where I get to maybe interact with national players, see how they are representing the country, how hard they are training, and then also seeing how much my parents are investing and paying for the school fees. And then that made me like really like tell myself I really want to make it there. If not, I'll be like wasting
Okay.
a lot of sacrifices and
At sports
efforts.
school.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you like the best player in your primary school team? Did he tell multiple
No.
of you guys to try out for sports school?
No, I mean not many. I think only me and my another friend went.
Okay, so you guys were the standout players.
I don't know.
No? Did anyone else from that primary school team make it to the national team?
My senior,
Okay.
which Angelina.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's one batch above me.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's now in the same team as me in the national team.
Okay, so you and Angelina are the best players to come up from St. Margaret's ever, or what are we talking about here?
Yeah, maybe.
Nice. Okay, were you from sports school as well, Amandeep?
No. I went into MGS and then after that into Raffles. So I pretty much DSA'd my whole life.
You pretty much what is?
DSA'd.
DS? Oh yeah, okay,
DSA,
yeah, DSA, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. And how I got into it, took it more seriously was basically in JC. I was surrounded by, I guess, a bunch of girls who played in the age group.
Okay.
So I think it kind of like put me in a position where I wanted to push myself and like, you know, try out for the age groups as well.
Yeah.
So in J1 was the first time that, I tried out for an underage, I think under 19s at that point. Yeah. And
okay.
I got
like
in.
the national team.
It wasn't a national, it's just like an age group. So it's like
Okay.
like, you know, they have like under 17s, under 19s.
Oh yes,
under
yes, sorry,
21s.
yeah.
So I trialed for the under 19s and I got in with a group of them. So I mean, it kind of like made me feel good about myself. Like, you know, okay, I'm on par with them. Yeah.
So you were like like 17, 18, that kind of age when
I was 17.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Yi Jie, were you already playing with the different, I don't know, national team age groups, I guess? The like
Yeah.
under
I think I started out in under 14s and then went up to under 17, under 19s. Yeah, then I skipped under 21 and then yeah.
Okay, interesting. Did you guys ever play against each? Because you guys are the same age, right? Did you ever
Yeah.
play against each other when you were, I don't know, kind of growing
Actually,
up?
not really.
Did I? No, I don't remember.
I think so.
Yes.
Huh.
I'm
Okay.
never in that position.
No.
Why? Like different leagues or something like that?
I think because we had zones.
Different zones probably.
Yeah, so we never really met.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you have to be like relatively tall-ish to be good at netball? Does it help?
That's a misconception.
No, is it? I mean, if it like
Okay, being tall is an advantage, but shouldn't be like
What defines
yeah,
you as
what
a
Okay.
player.
yeah.
so you because you got into sports school at like 12, 13, that kind of
Yeah,
age,
yeah.
right? Like, what if you just never grew again from that age?
I think there were many people who didn't grow and still did pretty well. Like I
Okay.
think the past players like Kimberly Lim, she's not the tallest, and then she's really one of the legends in the team. So I
Yeah.
think as long as you know how to play the game and you can make use of your strengths, I think anything is possible.
Yeah. I have a really rudimentary understanding of netball. I mean, like I know like wing attack, goal attack, like random things like that, right? What is the superstar position in netball?
I think
Depends on how you look at the game, I guess. I mean, different positions bring different focal points, right? So
Yeah.
like the shooters, I mean, I guess maybe they get most of the glory because they put in the
Yeah.
shots.
Okay.
But I think the most
Are those the ones
underrated-
with attack in the
yes,
the
like
name?
probably shooters. Or
Okay.
honestly, I think that netball is a very much of a teamwork kind of sport. Like you really need to play together because you
Okay.
can't really dribble the ball like basketball or soccer. So you really have to keep the ball going, and then
Yeah.
I think that's how beautiful netball is because everyone have to play together and shine together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what are your positions?
I play goal attack and goal shooter.
Okay. You said like that was like the superstar. You kind of said
She's
that
the
one.
superstar.
But then there's also like the underrated players like the midcourt that bring down the ball. I mean, without them, you can never really put in the ball.
So what was your position?
I play center wing attack.
Okay, so tell me a bit about. So I think yours a bit more straightforward, right? You said shooter,
Yeah.
like center, wing attack. Can you? I don't know, for people who have no clue about netball, such as myself, like what are those positions? Do?
Basically, I just run around like a dog now. Just kidding. Mainly, I just connect the two ends, like from the defense to the attack. So let's say if we got a turnover, we have to bring the ball smoothly down and try to balance the court,
Okay.
trying to fill out spaces, and
Yeah.
so that everything works well. Yeah, and somehow mid courts are supposed to be the shock absorbers, where like we have an intercept, we have to really like absorb all the pressure and then control the pace and then bring it nicely to the shooters. Yeah.
Okay. How similar is netball to captain's ball? Because yesterday I was like telling some of my colleagues, like, oh, we're going to interview a bunch of netballers tomorrow. They're like, oh, netball. You mean like extreme captain's ball? Is that a correct description?
I think captain's ball derived from netball, if I'm
Okay.
not wrong.
I don't know which way.
I don't
actually,
know.
but
Yeah.
Oh,
it's-
really? Captain's ball might have been first.
I don't
I
know.
really don't know, but
Because, captain's ball is just like no positions. Yeah, anyone can be anything. And then netball is a little bit more technical and tactical.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we have zones and stuff, so.
yeah, everyone's kind of restricted to a specific zone, and that's why the teamwork and like I guess your strategies come into play.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the best team in like world netball right now?
Australia.
Okay.
And usually Australia, New Zealand, Jamaica.
Jamaica. Oh, that's so random.
Recently England
Yes.
also.
Yeah, England.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yes, England.
Have you guys played those teams? How far away are we from those teams?
I think we only played
New Zealand.
New Zealand, yes.
Last
New
year,
Zealand.
not last year, 2023 at the World Cup.
At the World Cup.
Okay. What was that experience like?
I felt really tiny.
It
on
was
court.
crazy. I mean, the score was like 80 to
20 something.
20 something. Actually, not too bad. Like we got
I
double
think
digits.
the first half of the game
Yeah.
was pretty close.
Yeah.
We did put up a very good fight.
Yeah.
But I think in the second half, they just, I guess, whacked back and they were like, nah, they
Yeah.
ain't going to beat us.
They're-
So, yeah, we just
they're
got
really
wrecked.
huge. Like,
Okay.
like you're literally running into a wall. You feel like, like maybe like 2 heads taller than you, that kind.
So if New Zealand, Australia, Jamaica are like the top three, where's Singapore? Are we in the
20s.
I don't know, the 20s?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's a lot higher than I thought. Than I was fearing for a second.
Yeah.
I mean, because you just told me you got whacked by New Zealand.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
they're
okay,
like
the
the
way
best.
that they kind of do rankings is also, I guess, kind of weird. It depends on like the ranking of the teams that you play against, and then whether you win them or whether you draw or whether you lose, and then there's a kind of a point system. Yeah. So I think based on that, we are ranked like 24, if I'm not wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's pretty high. That's awesome. Most Singaporeans should be proud of that. Okay, so you've got your tournament in Dubai. What is the what's the expectation for how well we're going to do in the tournament in Dubai since we are ranked in the 20s?
I mean, we're all aiming for like top
top
two,
two.
going to finals, and
Okay.
then, yeah.
And who would be like the main kind of rival that you're like looking at, like, oh, these are the guys that we want to get?
I would say the African
Yeah,
nations, so like
Kenya,
Kenya and Namibia.
Okay.
Yeah. They're really
Yeah.
athletic and they're like all over the place. So it's
All
can
over
be
the
a bit-
place.
Yeah.
Yes, you should see them play. It's
Yeah.
like
Okay.
crazy. Yeah.
And is there a way that people can follow the tournament in Dubai?
I'm not sure if it's going to be live streamed on any of the netball apps, but there's an app called Netball Pass. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe it would be there, or alternatively maybe
Not sure.
Facebook. I'm not
Need to
entirely
ask.
sure.
Okay.
Can
Just
ask.
ask Daniel.
At the very least,
Yeah.
you can follow like Netball Singapore's like Facebook
Ah,
account,
yes.
and the results
Yeah,
we
yeah,
posted.
yeah.
We posted
The
there,
results
right?
will definitely be there.
Okay. Let's talk a bit about like what your life as like athletes are like. You guys are both 24, 25, 24?
25.
25 this year, both of you.
Turning 25.
Okay, what are you guys doing now apart from playing netball?
I'm pursuing my PhD at the moment.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so yeah, that's it.
Currently, I'm working as a strength and conditioning coach and a personal trainer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is that like a full-time job or?
Sort of like my entire career, it is. Just that more of it is both of the jobs are hourly based, so it's more of like a part-time job.
Yeah.
But yeah, sort of. I'm working full time in a sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reason why I asked is because, like, you know, I guess many Singaporeans watching would be thinking, like, how financially viable is it to, like, play netball, you know, long term, I guess. Do most of your teammates have to work as well? I guess
Yeah.
they would, right? Not many
Yeah.
people are just playing netball.
Yeah, but I think for us, it's like, I mean, a lot of people think that we are like full-time athletes, but actually we are sort of like part-time. We all have
Yeah.
jobs or school, and then we only train at night.
Yeah.
After we are like tired, but we still like put in the effort, and you know, a lot of like sacrifices are made by all of us individually. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you're doing your PhD. Tell me a bit more about that. Like, what is it in? Are you going to be like?
Yeah, I'm doing a PhD in sports science in NTU.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
You're going to be a sports scientist.
I don't know about that, but yeah, looking to it.
Yeah. And I mean that must be pretty intense as well, no? Like what kind of hours are you putting into that?
I would say it's pretty free and easy for me at the moment because
Okay.
a lot of things are at a OT kind of pace. If you have submissions or deadlines coming up, then yeah, things do pile up. But other than that, there's a lot of downtime, so I think it's essential to kind of keep like motivated by yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. And how far along in your PhD are you?
About 1.5 years in.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long more do you have to go?
It's a total of 4 years, so like another 2.5 more years.
Okay. So do you guys get paid as netballers?
We get allowances every 6 months, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's just maybe like travel allowances. Yeah.
Yeah.
But when we go overseas, we don't have to pay for anything, which is pretty good.
Just go there and relax.
Yeah.
I mean, and play well,
Yeah,
obviously.
yeah. I think netball is considered one of the better team sports to have such benefits. I think because I heard of other sports who have to pay for their own trips. So yeah.
Okay. What's the allowance? Can I ask?
It's around like 1.2k for around 6 months.
Yeah.
1.2k.
So around 200 per month.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If you
That's not
divide it
enough
out.
to
That's not a lot,
live.
yeah.
You still have to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but you're working as a personal trainer. You're doing a PhD. Like, how do you make ends meet then?
Okay, so I'm actually on a scholarship, which provides a stipend every month. So
Okay. This is academic scholarship.
Yeah.
Yeah. With your university, I suppose.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So that together with the training allowance I get, I guess that's enough to suffice, given that I'm still like considered a student. I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. And Yi Jie, I know you're on something called Specs Glow.
Specs Glow. Yeah.
That's kind of help from the government. Is that correct?
Yeah, definitely. So they have a scheme where for full-time working adults, if you have to go on to competition or training tours and you don't get paid leave, and then actually you can apply for Specs Glow, and then I think Singapore will actually reimburse a portion of your income so that you don't have to feel so much financial stress when you're going into competition or training tours. Yeah, which is
Okay.
pretty good, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. How long have you been on that scheme for?
think this year will be my first year.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
nice. Okay, so you're feeling the relief of having some financial
finally.
help. Yeah. Okay, talk me through like what a week for you guys is like. Let's start on Monday. What happens? And you know, like include like your work and like you know, I guess your PhD and stuff like that into it. Like what does a Monday look like for Amandeep and Yi Jie?
Okay, for me, I guess clocking in my work. Like right now, I'm waiting to go for my qualifying exam for my PhD. So basically, that's like 18 months into your PhD, you kind of have to present what you plan to do, and then you have to present it to a panel, and then they will pass you or they'll fail you. I mean, depends. Yeah. So I'm preparing for that. So like my week in the day basically just looks like writing documents, creating PowerPoint slides for the presentations and stuff like that.
You're doing that throughout the week.
The week, yeah, in the day. And at night, it will be for Monday night. It will be strength training at SSI. Yeah.
Sorry, what's SSI?
Singapore Sports Institute.
Okay. Sorry. Like
It's where all the national athletes kind of go to train.
So that's like a team thing. Like you guys all come together and do like the strength training. So that's Monday. Okay. Sorry, a better way to do it.
Yeah.
What's the training schedule for netball like throughout the week?
Yeah. So we do like gym on Monday and Wednesdays, and then we have court trainings on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays.
Okay, so how many days a week is that? Monday, Wednesdays, Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays. 5 days a week.
Yeah.
And then there's an additional day where we have to clock in our own sort of conditioning session.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What kind of stuff do you do on your own sort of conditioning
The program
session?
will be provided by the coach, like by the SNC coach, and then it's around like 1 hour long of interval runs or like long runs depending on the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on any given day, how many hours do you think you're spending on netball related activity?
Around 3 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Normally in the evening?
Yeah.
Yeah. Training time is around 3 hours for court trainings. Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus traveling and stuff around 4 hours. Yeah.
Okay. And then the rest of your day, I mean, Amandeep, you mentioned that preparing for your papers and this kind of assessment that's coming up. What do you do with the rest of your day, Yi Jie?
So I'm a SNC coach, so I work probably throughout like Monday to Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah, so before training, I'll be coaching. My day, because my time is a little bit flexible, sort of, but usually I start around 8 a.m., like first session, and then usually I'll have around 6 to 7 sessions before I go to training. Yeah, which is 6 to 7 hours of coaching. Yeah, each day. And yeah, Sundays I
6 to 7 hours of coaching each day.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Around that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez. Do you like? I mean, how do you guys have time for things outside of like netball and like your? I mean, because during the day you're working, and then during at night then you're training five times a week. Like I don't know what like. Do you have a social life?
I guess like we do, just that we usually our friends have to cater to us, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like they always know that we are busy, but they always try their best, which I'm very appreciative of. And I think usually our day can go as long as to like 12 midnight. Like if your friends join you for supper, maybe that's the time that you can meet them. Yeah, probably Friday is a good time, like for dinners and stuff. And weekends, yeah, usually those are the days. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, you guys are relatively young, I suppose, right? Like, what's the age? What's the career span of a netballer typically? When do they start to decline? I guess.
Decline. Oh wow. I guess maybe. I'll just give a benchmark. Maybe like 30.
30 plus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it also depends on how well you keep your body.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think in New Zealand or like those bigger countries, they can go up to like 40 plus. So.
Yeah. But in those bigger countries, they're probably
most
doing
of them
netball
are full time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And nutrition, like, do you have to like watch nutrition? I mean, since you mentioned taking care of your bodies,
We
like, do you
try
have
to. Yeah, but I feel like you just have to put in enough calories, enough protein into your body, and then you'll be able to recover much better. Yeah, I think I'm not sure if we try to restrict what we are eating.
I mean, I think I mean, I've heard of some of us like trying to eat clean before like fitness testing or
Yeah.
like for competition.
Just
It's just
before.
a last minute thing.
So like around now.
Yeah.
So no KFC after
Around like
this.
two, 3 weeks before.
But
yeah.
apart from that, like not really super strict with like diet or anything.
No, I don't
just
think so.
just make sure you eat well, like at least 3 meals.
Okay.
Yeah, with pre-training, pre-game snacks. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you do like the macros? Or I don't know, like count the.
I don't really.
No. I mean, like, why do it just before a fitness test? Is there like, are they testing like, I don't know, skin fold or something?
I don't know either.
I mean, I don't do that. I just
Oh,
make
you
sure.
just eat whatever.
I
Oh,
just
you do that.
I don't-
Like you know, you eat mala, you're like, oh, no
Oh, okay,
oil and all that.
I try. I mean, my mala, I try to know like no oil and stuff. But
No oil.
yeah, I try to say no oil or less
Okay.
oil.
Oh, when
Yeah.
you order.
Yeah, but
okay.
honestly, it doesn't really matter much. I just like nearing competition, I'll try to eat a little bit cleaner. No, I mean, on a regular basis, I don't really eat fast food or like fried food. I just eat. Yeah.
Yeah. How about you? Fried chicken.
I would say on like off-peak seasons, I do eat like fried food from time to time, but going into competition, I think there is an effort from me to not, I guess, eat like unhealthy foods. Like I will do my best and try not to. Yeah.
Okay. Do your best, but not like an ironclad commitment. Not
Yeah,
like
if I really have no choice, then like I was telling my coach, like after like trainings sometimes like at like 10 p.m. coming back from Kallang, the only place that is really open if you're not going out for supper with your friends is like McDonald's.
Oh yeah.
So like that's your only option. It's either that or like instant noodles. So
Okay.
like take your pick, I guess.
So McDonald's.
Yeah.
What is the like when you have to go to McDonald's after training and you feel a bit guilty about eating McDonald's? What is the order? Like double fillet of like a fillet of fish or something with corn cup
Oh yes.
As in my go-to is just a regular fillet of fish.
Yeah.
So
and side like do you do fries as well or
yeah.
not even the corn cup?
Yeah. Sometimes if you want to pretend like you're very healthy, you can just order a salad,
Yeah.
grilled chicken salad.
At
yeah.
McDonald's?
Yeah.
How's the grilled chicken salad at McDonald's? I've never tried it before.
I think it's okay.
It's not bad,
Yeah,
Okay.
decent lah.
It's decent. And like you guys mentioned earlier that you have a new coach.
Yeah.
So what's that like? I mean, what's you know, I'm only thinking about like football because that's what like I'm most like familiar with. But like you know, every time there's like a new coach comes in, you want to impress the new coach. Also, like they might have like a different style of play, and then like you know, there's anxiety over whether you fit into that style of play. Is that similar in netball as well?
Sort of.
Yeah, I would say it's pretty similar in all sports with a new coach coming in.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I think as soon as she came in and she was quite open with us and
Yeah.
what the things that she was looking for and how like trials will be carried out and stuff like that. So I think that kind of put the doubt away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trials.
I mean, yeah, for every competition that we have in the season, we kind of have to go through a trial.
Oh really?
Because we are a bigger squad of like 19 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then only 12 get selected to go for
Okay.
competitions.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that like how often do these trials like happen? You said like before every competition,
Yeah.
but like how many times a year would that be?
On average, maybe 3.
3, 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Are those like high anxiety kind of periods for you guys?
Something
Or
like that.
are you guys pretty like confident that you'll make the team?
No, I think-
no, depends. Yeah, there's usually competition. Yeah, so
Okay.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty.
So sometimes we even have like the under 21s who will trial
Yeah.
with us to see if like any potential players could move up. So I
Yeah.
think even looking at that, that's also competition for us. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, definitely high anxiety.
Okay. We're an advice show, right? So maybe you can give a bit of bonus advice. How do you deal with like those times of stress?
I mean, for me, it's just I try not to think about it, and I like digress into other things during the day to forget about it. And then when like the trial period comes, I just trust that I do have the skills to show and like prove that I do belong in the team. Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I just feel like just working on your strengths will help you a lot, and like thinking what you're good at instead of what you should be doing better. I think that will actually help you to settle down a bit more, and during trials you can lock in a bit better when you know that you are able to do something instead of things you're lacking and then you're focusing on those things. Yeah.
Yeah. has there been a time where, in recent memory, where you didn't make the team after a trial? Either of you guys?
No.
Not really. I got kicked out because I was sick. But no.
You got kicked out because you were sick?
But that's the only time.
Yeah. Off the record, but I'm sure Dan wouldn't have sent like 2 people on the fringes of the team over to help desk. Okay, and yeah, so I asked earlier, like the lifespan or the career span of like a netballer, right? I mean, do you guys see yourselves doing it until you're 30? How old do you wanna keep going? Because the reason why I asked, right, is because from many of from my perspective, $200 a month, right? Sort of, the allowance you get, a lot of stress, and then your careers are kind of on hold, and then like you don't have a social life, things like that. Like, how long more do you want to like live this kind of life?
I mean, my go-to answer to people who always ask me this question is, I want to play for as long as I can. Yeah, and I think it kind of stems from, I guess, a lot of passion for the sport, for the people that play the sport with you. I think having a solid group of friends who you see every day also makes a difference. Yeah, so for me, I guess, I am totally okay with playing, and the money aspect, maybe I don't think of it so much at this point. Yeah,
I think for me, I think a set timeline would be like the SEA Games that will be happening in Singapore, which is in 2029. I think many of us are setting that as a goal to reach. Yeah, but anything further than that, I'll just see how my body goes and how passionate I am still for the sport. Yeah, because it's definitely a lot just to juggle everything. Yeah, but sometimes it's just a routine, like going to training and then it's part of you already. So maybe that will still be it, like when I'm 29. Yeah.
What keeps you guys going when it gets really stressful? When like your PhD stuff becomes like overwhelming, but you still have to go to training at night, or like I'm sure like when you get really tired from a days of coaching, like what keeps you guys motivated?
Actually, for me, I would say that netball is sort of my distraction from the world, from my day-to-day life. So I think going for netball kind of like it helps me forget like my struggles of the day until I actually finish and I go back. I'm like, oh shit, like okay, now I'm back to reality. But yeah, that's how I see it. So.
Honestly, same, like, because now we've been doing this for quite a few years, and netball is just something that, I just turn up and just play and train. Like, I don't really think much about it compared to when I first started. Like, wow, my whole day I would be like dwelling on training. But now it's just like turn up and then I just show up, and which is pretty nice because it's like you don't really think about work during training.
Yeah. That thing that you just mentioned earlier, like previously your whole day you would be thinking about training.
Yeah.
Is that something that you experienced as well, Amandeep?
I would say when I first started out, yes, because I mean it's kind of nerve-wracking, like playing, like training for like the national team, and like thinking how it would pan out for you, whether you would actually make the 12. What kind of like extra efforts you need to put in, like what like how would you prove yourself during training and stuff like that. So those kind of things that I say that I kind of dwelled over when I was maybe still in my first few years in the national team. Yeah.
Okay. But that's something that you guys don't really experience anymore.
I guess because it's also become kind of a routine over the years. So you don't really think much about it.
Yeah. So I guess like what I'm getting at there is like how much of an obsession is like netball for you guys, because like you kind of talked about it a bit as like a distraction from like your day to day or when things aren't super going super swell in your lives, but like would you say that you're obsessed with netball or
maybe unintentionally.
Probably like not. I would say for myself, maybe I'm not obsessed enough. I wouldn't want to be that obsessed because I think like professional sports players like in the NBA the players will be like super obsessed with it. They are like, watching the games, seeing how they perform. But I think we also don't have the luxury of time to do such things. So we can only make the best out of what we have, which is to obsess over it during training, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, fair enough. Does it get pretty competitive, like once you guys start training? Yeah.
A bit, yeah. But I think it's also good because we kind of like push each other past our limits and like, to test each other. So there's always some sort of like achievement or like something to look forward to. If not, it gets kind of mundane as well.
Yeah. And far out. My colleagues told me I shouldn't ask this question, but I feel like I want to ask the question. Like all girl sports, right? Is it like, there's a certain stereotype of like all girls school. Wait, I mean, maybe I should be more precise with the stereotype. Is it like very catty?
Catty.
Or like, sorry.
What's catty? Sorry.
Bitchy.
Bitchy.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I wouldn't completely rule it out, but I think it's very rare.
Okay, so like the team harmony is like pretty.
Yeah, I think right now it's pretty chill and pretty peaceful. Like everyone is quite objective in what they want to tell each other.
Yeah, but when you get to Dubai, will it be the same as well?
I mean, probably usually during competitions it will be more intense lah. Like they'll have like individuals will have their own personal feelings about their own play, about the team, and I think it's natural to have such feelings. Yeah, but I think.
We also kind of have this understanding where like, whatever happens on court stays on court.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you get off, it's like just go back to normal. Like nothing, you don't have to like dwell over it.
I think culture wise I would consider it pretty positive. I would say like it's not as like bitchy. I feel like it's just like people have good intentions for each other. Yeah. So it's good.
Has that been the case like all throughout like your, I don't know, going through netball from when you were like younger till now?
Nah, definitely there'll be times where teams are like not so harmonious. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I think now the culture is really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess growing up, I mean, like if you consider like schools, maybe like you're younger, you don't really, you can't really draw the line or boundary. Like if you fight on court, it could be taken off court as well with your friends. Yeah. But I think now we're all at the stage where we like kind of understand that like we can just put it aside once we step off.
Yeah. Let's talk a bit about moments from your like career so far. Biggest highlight from the time you guys have been playing with the national team.
I would say for me would be the Asian Champs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which year?
That was in last year actually.
Okay.
When we played in India. And that was a really eventful competition. Yeah, and we actually won champs.
Oh, we're the Asian champs?
We are the Asian champs.
Okay, nice. Sick.
Yeah, after 10 years. And it was right after like extra, thank you. It was right after extra time, which is like my first time and a lot of us, our first time playing in extra time, and we didn't even know how long is extra time. Yeah, we just played till we win.
Yeah.
I think that was pretty memorable. Yeah.
Okay. How about yourself? Highlight.
Okay, it will be kind of boring if I say the same, but
don't say the same. Give us something different, please.
Okay, let me think. Maybe the 2023 Nations Cup. Yeah. Okay. I mean, we won champs after I'm not even sure how many years. Was it also like about
around 10 years? Yeah.
So the nations champ and the Asians champ.
Yeah, but it's like
nations is a bit like here and there. Like the countries is not like regional. It's just fixed, like invitational. Countries.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, we hosted every year, and it was the first time we won after I guess 10 years. I'm not too sure about the number, but after a number of years. And I think it was a very good like build up from coming from the World Cup. Yeah, because it was right after the World Cup, which also was our first World Cup together.
Okay, that was that would have been 2022.
3.
Oh, 3. Yes. Yeah. Okay, sorry.
So, but I think it was just like it just felt great to like finally, like we finally win like a gold medal for the nation, like for the first time I think.
Yeah.
For me,
Yeah. Do you have like specific like moments that you like go back to in like those matches that you replay in your mind like over and over again?
Honestly, I think like over the years, you kind of like forget what happens like 2 years ago.
Really?
But right, I would say
Wow.
that the most prominent would be maybe going into extra time last year.
Yeah.
That was like the most recent,
Yeah.
the most prominent.
Probably I'll only remember funny moments when Amandeep pushed me on the ground just to save a ball, and then I actually saved it. I think.
She pushed you
Yeah.
to make you catch the
Yeah,
ball.
make me catch
She
the
dived.
ball. And I
Why
dived and I
couldn't
saved the
she
ball.
dive for the ball?
Because she was
yourself?
already
I was
ahead of
nearer.
me. I was like, I'm not gonna beat her, so
Giving her a little
You go for it.
a helping hand.
Probably funny moments as
Wow.
well.
I think that's the difference between like elite athletes like you guys and like someone like me who just played like sports in school. Like I have like moments that I think about like over and over again from like my glory days back when I was like 16, when like I didn't have like back pain, chronic back pain, that I think about all the time. But like for you guys, it's just like another moment of athletic brilliance, I guess. So you don't really consider it. Actually, the one memory I have from playing sports in school is my school was in the final of like some football thing, and the girls' team was playing as well. And they finished their match, so they were watching our match. And I had a crush on one of the girls on the team. And then it got to penalties, and then I had to go up and take a penalty. And then like,
please tell me you put it in.
I didn't. So I always remember missing a crucial penalty in front of like the girl I had a crush on. And we didn't end up together. And I like to think it's because of that penalty. Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Speaking of that, how about lowlights then? Lowlights in your career so far?
I think when I first started out, probably quite a bit. It was quite a struggle. I think the lowest was, I think I mentioned just now when I got kicked out because I was sick, right? Yeah. Literally, on my first day when I checked in,
Okay.
I was really sick for like 2-3 weeks, like prior to the competition.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just trying to like tough it out, but I was still coughing like crazy. I think there was some kind of virus. Yeah.
Did you
And
have
then
like COVID or something?
it's not really COVID. I don't know what is it, like some viral cough thing.
Did you test yourself?
Yeah, it's
okay,
just
so that
negative.
100% wasn't
yeah,
COVID.
it's
Okay.
just that I just ate the cough medicine and made my heart really like palpitate. Yeah,
Okay.
and then had to tell my coach, and then like had hoo-ha, and then I had to get sent out. I mean, just
'cause you
not
don't wanna
play the
make
competition.
You don't want to make the rest of the team sick, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's more of like health, like a risk. Like, yeah. Not.
Were you overseas?
We were in Singapore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
That's
that
not
was
so
the
bad.
competition where my poster was my face was on the poster, but
she
then I'm
was
not playing on
supposed to
the.
go, she wasn't in the team.
Oh no. Right.
Yeah, but it's okay. Yeah, but that was pretty one of the lower ones, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess for me, it would also be when I first was starting out in the team. I mean, I was coming in where like, I guess superstars like Charmaine So were still in the scene, and I guess that also like kind of like made me doubt my own abilities as to whether like getting into the main 12 was enough, because even after you get into the main 12, you would still need to be in the main 7 to get on court. Yeah, so I guess rotation wise, whether I would have the opportunity to, take the court, gain experience and stuff like that.
Yeah. For the ignorant, right? Including myself. How does subs in netball work? Because you have the main 12, you have the 12, the squad, and then you have like the starting 7.
Yeah.
Like, is it rolling subs or is it just like a one, like...
So I think the rules have kind of evolved over the years, and
okay.
right now it's basically, I would say it's rolling subs. So you just like, after every shot on either side, you could go to the umpire and like basically you do this action, and basically you're calling for a substitution.
Okay.
So she calls time, and then you get out. I mean, or anybody, you can call time for anybody to substitute
okay.
on court. Yeah. So the person who your coach has called for a substitution for gets out, and then the next person comes in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you're not in the starting 7, you could
Yeah.
come into the match like fairly early and fairly coming in and out fairly
Yeah.
often as well. Yeah. Okay. And what do you guys think has been like the biggest sacrifice that you've made in your career so far?
That's really tough.
I would say for me would be like maybe career wise.
Okay.
Yeah, because training times are usually best time where people want to train for like a SNC or personal trainer, right? Yeah. I think
Or
that's
like in the evening.
in the evening.
After
yeah,
work
after work
is when
is
you
like
want
the
to go to
golden
the gym.
hour. Yeah,
Yeah.
but my golden hours at training. Yeah, but honestly, I think regardless of that, I still had a lot of opportunity, like being as a national player. Yeah, and probably sacrificing my own time also. Yeah, had to really weigh the options, like whether I should spend time with myself or go out with my friends, because like if friends draw you but you really like very sian, like you just want to chill, yeah, do you choose? Yeah, that's some of the things. Yeah.
Biggest sacrifice?
I think for me, I would say sacrificing time spent with my extended family and also my friends. Like, I'm very big on that aspect in life, but I think after I got into the national team, a lot of them kind of either had to cater towards my availability, or I just totally miss out on going for like weddings or like hangouts. Like even recently, like a group of my friends they kind of want to meet up for dinner before we fly off next week.
Yeah.
But we just can't find a common time that we are all free. Yeah, so we have to like postpone it to like July.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the most important thing that you guys have had to miss because of netball?
I wouldn't say I've missed anything important because
Okay.
I would have just gone if it's very important.
Okay.
Yeah.
And not like
normally
a
it's
wedding,
quite
a birthday.
Yeah.
flexible.
Yeah,
I
honestly,
mean, I've missed like a wedding, but other than that, I think
yeah, the coach is like, in general, the coach is pretty understanding. Like they wouldn't want you to miss like a big thing just for regular training.
Yeah.
yeah.
But you wouldn't be like, I gotta train. I don't know.
I think it really depends on the timeline as well. If it's like very close to a competition,
Yeah.
then you kind of have to weigh out which
Probably.
is more important to you at that point. Whether like attending this training would actually hinder not only yourself but also the team, because you're not. I mean, like netball's a team sport, so you gotta kind of think about the team as well. And whether missing out on this other like whatever event or like meeting that you have it's okay. Yeah.
Okay, and just to round up this conversation on your career and stuff like that, if I had like a 12-year-old girl with me right now, if I brought one out from behind that curtain over there, and they're interested in playing netball or being some sort of national athlete, what advice would you give them from your own experience, I suppose? What do you think is the most important thing they should keep in mind, and what do you think they should know in order to be successful?
I would say definitely it won't be an easy journey. You have to put in the hard work. There will be a lot of obstacles along the way, but for me, the one thing that keeps me going, that maybe it could help you too, would be remembering why you actually started playing netball, or like enjoying it. Was it your friends? Was it the competitiveness? Yeah.
For me, is your mindset is very important. Like viewing how setbacks affects you. Like what are setbacks to you? Like if you view setbacks as a learning opportunity, you will always grow. Like try to view things in a growth mindset instead of trying to think like, setbacks is you're just gonna fail. Yeah, so like I would say anything is possible as long as you work hard and just keep learning.
Yeah. That's one of the like, I don't know. I mean, like the thing about working hard and like having that growth mindset. Was that stuff that you guys knew when you were young? Like I'm talking like in your early teens or whatever.
I would say not really.
No,
it's just
yeah.
something that you kind of pick up on along the way.
Did you train hard when you guys were in your early teens?
Okay.
I mean,
you were in sports school, so you kind of forced it. Yeah.
I would say yes. I mean, at one point, okay, like I got into the national team way later than the people in my batch.
Yeah.
So I think at that point I was like really trying to prove to not only like the coaches but also to myself that I'm worthy of being in the team. Yeah. So I think at that point I was working really, really hard. Yeah.
Yeah, because you hear all these stories of like professional athletes, and I mean you guys are the same as well, right? Or like elite athletes rather, and like how they are like, I guess, obsessed, or like from a young age they really just put in the hours and the time to like really get better. But then when I think about like me and my friends, it's just like, we're just having fun. So that's why we didn't end up as like elite athletes. But how do you get to that stage where you are a young person who is really putting in like all that hard work? Because when you're young, you just want to have fun, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why do you think that you guys had that the wherewithal, or I guess not the wherewithal. What would be the the awareness, I guess, to really to like work hard for these goals?
I feel like probably what stands out, like what differentiates between like people who actually make it there or like people who actually don't, is more of the attitude towards excellence. Like you don't just do your best in the things you like to do, but also things you don't like to do. I think that's what makes the difference. And then if you have such attitude in all the things you pursue, I feel like probably you'll make somewhere in anything you do.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah? Where do you think you got that approach towards excellence from?
Probably from my parents.
Okay.
Like and throughout.
Excellent parents.
Yeah. And like as I grow older and like when I face setbacks, it's just through people I talk to and through the things I learned in school and how watching seniors. Yeah, I think that's how it groomed me, I guess.
Yeah.
I think that's a very good point that she brought up. Another way to put it would be like doing things that make you uncomfortable in terms of like trainings and stuff.
Yeah.
So
I never wanted to do anything that made me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the point.
That's why I'm seated here interviewing you guys, not the other way around.
I mean, for everyone it's different, but I guess I kind of really vibe with what she just said, because in terms of doing what makes you uncomfortable, if you don't have that want or that need to do that, you kind of are comfortable where you are, and then you don't really progress, I guess. But I think growing up, you kind of don't know that, but that want as a kid to to learn more, to do more, that kind of, I guess, puts you ahead. Yeah.
Okay, let's can I ask about misconceptions about netball? You know, we spoke about like if it's bitchy,
Yeah.
but it's also a non-contact sport, right?
Yeah.
And you guys can, and then I guess the comparisons with captain's ball isn't exactly super favorable. What do you guys think are the biggest misconceptions when it comes to netball? I
mean, I guess the biggest would be like, it's like a simpler version of basketball, or like it's a very girly sport.
Yeah.
Yeah, when a lot of people are not fans of it because of like a lot of the rules. I guess because basketball is bigger, but netball, like, you know, everyone plays a specific position and then you can't go into specific areas. And then, like, you know, you're shooting without a backboard and all that. So, like, I've heard stuff like, oh, you know, like, it's not on the same level as basketball. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I think people would think that it's a gentle sport because it's non-contact. But yeah, I think as long as someone comes to a live game where they watch us or watch a live netball game, they'll know actually how fast-paced and actually how rough it can be, because you can see people like falling on to the floor like everywhere.
Does it get physical?
I think it's pretty physical, even though the umpires are very involved in making sure that it's not too dangerous.
Yeah.
But
fights on court. Have you ever seen one?
Maybe secret fights where like
secret fight.
The opponent pinch you from the back or something like that.
Oh, like the ball
there
kind of
is
thing?
one. I think there's a video of not sure which countries, but basically the goalkeeper like kind of pinched the goal shooter, so she couldn't really go for the ball. Or like, there's even like pulling of dresses. I mean, like, it's a non-contact sport, but all this
That's not allowed though, right?
No.
Like the umpire will stop
if they see
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you guys try and do that behind, like when the umpire's not looking?
No.
I don't have to do that. It's more people doing it to me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because you're the it's always a defender who's trying to.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there someone on the team? You know, like in football, there's always like this idea of like a bastard on the team. Like he's the person who goes around and like roughs people up and like makes people kind of scared. Famous example for those watching would be like Roy Keane or something like that. Is there someone on the team that's like, you know, tries to intimidate the opponents?
Actually, no, not really.
I think we are all pretty nice. We just focus on what we can do.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, we are also slightly smaller than the rest of them when we play internationally.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think we've established that we don't resort to such tactics.
Singapore doesn't.
Yeah, like there's no energy and time to do this kind of things.
But those Malaysians, do they do it?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, wait. Who would our biggest rivalry be in netball?
I would say Sri Lanka and Malaysia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how did we do compared? Like the last time we played Sri Lanka, did we win?
Yeah,
Yes, in the Asian
Did you guys win?
champs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that was the last time. That was
Yeah.
2023, 24. Sorry.
Last
Yes.
year.
And then Malaysia, the last time you guys played Malaysia, how did that go?
It was in the
We
semis
won,
as well
yeah.
in last year at the same
Okay.
competition.
Yeah.
We won them. So.
Wow. Nice. Nice. Very good. And when you does it feel better when you beat Malaysia?
Sort of. I mean, we have like an ongoing rivalry with them for like ages.
Okay.
And I think the next one would be SEA Games,
Yes.
where I think the last SEA Games we lost to them, but just I think like a small margin.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they are definitely our biggest competitors at the end of the year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is there like much like trash talk in netball?
Probably other countries do. I'm not sure. But do we do it?
We don't really do that. I think
No.
we don't have the
No
time
energy.
or energy
So like
to
on
do
the
that.
court, you're not like whispering in like your opponent's ear like, "Oh, chicken rice is better."
Not that I know
You should
of.
try it.
Chicken rice is better.
No chicken rice is better. Our chicken rice is better.
Like just before the ball is thrown in their direction, you just feel
It's
like,
quite funny.
by the way, our chicken rice is better, and then you're
No.
like,
Oh, but I have
that would throw them off.
experienced one. Like I don't know whether she did it intentionally or not, but she was just like asking about like my age and what I do in life, and then I wasn't really paying attention to the ball, and like
Oh.
she just went for the intercept, and I was like, okay,
Wow, that's
game
pretty,
on,
that's pretty
game on.
smart. That's pretty smart.
Yeah.
Do you ever try? Do you ever try tactics like that or no? No.
No, have
No.
not.
Maybe we need a bit more guile in the team, like cunning.
Yeah,
I don't know. I
think
feel like I
probably
need to help. I
maybe.
need to help you
yeah,
guys
you
out. with
didn't come
something
in and
like-
teach us of this kind of
Join
thing.
us for a
Okay, well, I'll
session,
come
yeah.
down to the netball session. I'll teach you guys like some like taunts
trash talk.
and like trash talk with them. Like, what would be a good one? Yeah, I think you can tell them, yeah, we created chili crab or something like that on the court.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Our public transport system is so much better.
Oh,
than yours.
Stop.
Yeah, you try that.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'll workshop some and then we'll come down. We'll do a session. I mean, you mentioned earlier about like coming down to a live game and watching. So how often do these live games happen? How can people find out more information about watching a live game?
Usually Singapore will host a Nations Cup, which is like a year-end competition in Singapore, which is usually held in OCBC Arena.
Okay.
Yeah, so people can find more information on our Netball Singapore Facebook page or our Instagram. Yeah, usually they'll blast a lot of adverts. Like sometimes even on public transport, you'll see posters around. Yeah.
With your
No,
face on it.
yeah, from Amandeep.
That's like the jinx now. Whenever you can't have your face on a poster. Okay, so now we're at the advice section. I mean, we're at advice show. People write in with questions. They write into a link that is appearing on your screen right now, and if they have something that kind of like keeps them up at night, if it's like a big life decision or like something a bit more trivial, they write into us there, and then hopefully we get people as talented or as brilliant at what they do like you guys to answer their questions. So are you guys ready to answer our audience questions?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I've given you some cards over there. They have 2 questions from our audience. Go ahead and pick them up. Let's do advice question 1 first. Amandeep, would you mind reading the question from this person who's using the name Janison? I don't know how to pronounce
Okay.
that.
Okay, so Janison said, getting over a cheating ex that claims that he didn't cheat until months later and still has the audacity to ask if we can reconcile months after.
Okay, what advice would you guys have for Janison? Getting over an ex that claims that he didn't cheat until months. Oh, okay, so they're finding out
Yeah.
afterwards that this person cheated.
Yeah.
And this last part is nuts. He has the audacity to ask if we can reconcile. What advice would you give to Jen?
Actually, I think Yi Jie, you'll be better
Hey,
at this.
what do you mean?
Why would Yi Jie be better?
No,
at
as in,
this?
I think she gives better advice than I do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Whoa. No lah, I mean, he's trash, man. Well, advice is just block him in every way possible, and
Yeah.
try not to see him ever again. Then I think as time goes by, you will slowly forget about the ex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting over someone, like, I don't know what, I guess that clearly do not go back to this person, I think
Yeah.
is that
That's
goes
crazy.
without saying. But advice would you give to someone who's trying to get over somebody?
I guess focus on yourself and things that make you happy. I know that it's not gonna be easy, but I guess eating a tub of ice cream and watching sad shows. I don't know. This is my impression based off of like movies that I watch.
Not speaking from experience. No. Okay. Have you guys ever had trouble getting over a loss?
Loss as in like a breakup? Or like
Oh no, I mean like yes, if you have that, or like I was thinking more like a netball loss.
Netball loss.
Oh, okay. Oh,
yeah.
Sorry, I should have been clearer.
I think most of the time it's like pretty okay once you get out of the competition or once the competition ends. But within that time frame of like, we just lost a game because I made this mistake, and it's like because of me that we lost. I think in that moment or within that day itself, it's a bit like, it like kind of haunts you, and you keep thinking about it, and like sometimes like you kind of spiral. But out of that competition, out of that day, I think it gets better because you gotta move on. There's another game the next day, and then
I think for me, probably when I was younger, it would be much harder. I think last time I was like a error machine. I feel like
error machine.
I literally make like more than 10 errors in a game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that considered a lot?
It's a lot.
Oh,
it's crazy. Yeah. Every one error is like a turnover.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I remember like I caused my team like in secondary school the quarterfinals because I broke the line.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was like a
broke
the line means you step over the line before the whistle. Like for wing defense, goal attack. Yeah, you have to stand behind the transverse line before you start. Yeah, I remember I was too eager, too excited, and then I went over the line and beep. That's it. The ball went over, and then we lost the game, and then we didn't make it to quarterfinals. Yeah, that was pretty traumatic, I feel. But that was like in secondary 3 or 4. But I'll still remember. So now I won't break the line.
It still haunts you.
Yes.
How did you get over that at that young age?
Just cry and then move on. There's nothing much you can do about it. Like there's better games out there for you. As long as you prove yourself, you can be better.
Okay.
I feel like just gotta move on, man.
So move on to like the next game.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I were to take that advice and then translate it to relationship advice, move on to the next person.
Yeah.
Download Tinder. I don't know. Swipe.
Yeah.
Is this good advice? I don't know if it's good advice.
More of hanging out with people.
Yeah.
I feel like being alone, sometimes it will just spiral down. You just gotta hang out with good people and keep yourself distracted.
Join a team sport.
Yeah.
Fill your schedule so that you're working in the day and training at night, so that you have no time to think about
Best
this.
advice.
Right.
Okay, let's move on to the next question then. Advice question. This question, from Anise. Yi Jie, would you mind reading that one for us?
Okay, so lately, lack of motivation to do anything. Everything is so fast-paced and just can't get myself together. I see other people being successful and it makes me feel like very behind, and there's this anxiety. Okay.
Lacking motivation, comparing yourself to other people, and then it makes you feel behind in that.
Yeah. I think this is pretty relatable.
Okay.
Yeah, I think probably living in Singapore is really like everyone is so good, everyone is so competitive, and sometimes you just feel like you just want to chill, but then you know that if you spend time chilling, maybe you are sacrificing time to be better. But honestly, just do what you want. I feel like there's always endless comparison. Like if you always compare yourself, you'll never be happy. Yeah, and I think anxiety comes from comparison. Yeah, even though it's hard not to compare. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, man. Like focus on what you can do. I don't know, it's the same advice I give every time.
Yeah. No, it's good advice. Focus on
but
what
lack of motivation is something that is probably, if you're lacking in motivation, maybe it's something that you don't really like to do. Like just find something that you like to do, and if you can't find, then just keep doing. Just don't stop, I feel. If you stop and you're stagnant, that's it. you are just done.
Yeah. I mean, the netball team is like, how it's like you mentioned earlier, like 17 and then it's whittled down, no, 19 and then it's whittled down to 12.
No, it's in the age groups.
No, sorry, your the national team.
Oh, like the team members.
Yeah.
Yeah. About 18
18
Yeah,
and then
squad is 18.
12.
will get selected.
Okay. How many of you guys are going to Dubai?
12?
Okay. Oh, only 12.
12 players and then like a bunch of management.
Yeah, okay. And then 7 people who start, right?
Yeah.
Within that 12, I guess, and the wider like 17, 18, is there like a sense of like competitiveness? You know what I mean? when
Yeah.
I mean, I guess there is some sort of competitiveness, but it's very much just shown on court. Is because you kind of you can only prove yourself when you're on court.
Okay.
So it comes down to playing well with the teammates or with the combination when you're given the opportunity during training sessions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's would you guys describe the group as being? I mean, earlier you guys said it was like quite harmonious. Would you describe it as being like a very close, tight-knit group?
Yeah, I think we still do go around giving advice to everyone else on court, even like I guess players that you would call your competitors. I mean,
Like
teammates
that, like
you
the
would call
person
your-
who would take your spot in the
Yeah,
team
I mean,
potentially.
you kind of want the team to progress as a whole, and and everyone brings something unique in that sense. So if you can't do it, maybe she can do it better than you. So
Okay.
why not
Yeah.
help her achieve that?
Yeah, because that's what I was going to ask. What's it like to be training with somebody who, you know, would love to take your spot in the team? I guess to put it bluntly. Like, is that weird or is that?
I think it's great.
It's great?
Like,
I mean,
to
keeps you on
have
your toes.
to have a competition means that everyone's on the same page. They want to fight to be better. I think it's scary if you're the only one, and then
Okay.
there's nobody else that is on the same path, same mindset as you. Then I think that's kind of the team will go downhill after that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. How about like outside of netball? You know, do you guys ever feel like your life is on hold a little bit because of the time that you have to spend dedicated to you know, being a national athlete?
Sorry, could you clarify on like being like time on hold?
Yeah, okay. Well, I suppose, I mean, you're doing your PhD, so maybe
Yeah.
it's not... but, you know, people have like anxiety over like starting a family, getting a BTO, those kind of things, right?
Yeah.
But for you guys, I mean, a lot of your time is spent like training and you know, earlier we spoke a little bit about how social life isn't like as vibrant maybe as if you didn't have to go to training every you know, didn't have to train 5 times a week at night. Do you ever get like anxiety over like, oh man, like everyone seems to be, you know, starting a family or like like their life seems to be like moving ahead in this sense, but like you know, I'm playing netball like I was back when I was in primary school or secondary school or whatever.
I mean, sometimes it kind of does feel that way, but more so, I guess, I feel happy when I see all my friends getting married or like, I guess a lot more like FOMO if I can't attend it and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
not so much like regret or anything, or not really anxious also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think same. Probably it'll hit me more when more of my friends are getting engaged and married. But right now, I think still okay. More of like whatever comes, I'll just take on. Yeah, so now netball is the one that's in my life. So I'll just make the best of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anyone on the team that has like kids and like a family?
Yeah, but they're both retired.
Yeah,
now.
retired.
So
Yeah,
they were
previously.
they gave birth and then they continued playing netball, which is like
okay.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
How about like work-wise? Like, what do like your other teammates, you know, I mean, do for work?
I mean, we do have
Yeah, we
lawyers,
have
we have doctors.
doctors.
Okay.
So, I mean, if they can do it, we can do it.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
yeah.
Wow, but like, isn't like lawyer, I mean, or doctor even like one of those jobs where you have to put in like crazy amount of hours? How do they make training like every time as well?
Actually, our lawyer friend, yes, like Sindhu, she does most of the time, but she comes in later.
Okay.
So, but it's I guess we have accommodated to that. So yeah.
Yeah.
For doctors,
Sometimes they may miss training, but it's all these are like communicated with the coach. I think communication is key, and sometimes they'll do like 24-hour shift and then they'll still come to
Come for
training
training.
or come for games. I think that's crazy.
Okay.
And they're still able to perform. Yeah, that's mad. Yeah.
mad respect.
Yeah,
but
mad
yeah.
respect.
That seems a bit unfair that they should be able to be a lawyer and be really good at sport,
Life is
or a doctor and be really good at
Just
sport,
all rounded.
Yeah.
or like a PhD student and be really good. It doesn't seem like that should be allowed somehow. But you guys don't feel like that kind of anxiety to keep up with, your peers. Not necessarily in the sporting sense, but like the friends that you made at uni or in secondary school or whatever.
I think at this moment in my life, not really.
Okay.
I'm like living vicariously through them. So you do you, and I'll just be happy for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think same vibes. If I keep thinking about them, I'll be so anxious. So I try not to. But sometimes I do, but I just brush it off.
Okay. Back to Anis's question. Lacking motivation. Have you guys ever lacked motivation when it comes to netball? And when you did, how did you get that motivation back?
I think for me, it's like I kind of lack motivation when I become comfortable. When like your spot on the team is like secure sort of thing.
Okay.
But I think once I step on court, the opponents are not going to be nice. Nobody's going to be nice. So once I get whacked around a few times, I guess I kind of snap back into it and be like, okay, I need to get it together. I need to lock in.
Yeah.
I think for me probably is lacking in motivation when I had a long day, literally long and tiring day, and I still have to turn up. Sometimes it's really draining, but sometimes it's still okay if I'm in the zone. Yeah, and probably the motivation I needed the most is when I have to go for conditioning runs. Wow, that's the worst. Literally the inertia is the worst. Yeah, but I think what keeps me going is I literally have to be fit. If not, I can't play. Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of what's the running?
It's sprints or long intervals or shuttle runs. Yeah, for one whole hour.
Yeah, that sounds somewhat torturous. But you do it as a team, right?
No, on our own.
Oh, is that the one that you have to,
Yeah.
to do
by ourselves, yeah.
that extra one? Okay, wow. That I impressed by that kind of discipline to do that. Okay, any last words on this question? Any last advice for Anis? What I would say is that you comparing yourself to other people is super detrimental. And I see so many people who are unhappy. When they're unhappy about things, it's because they are comparing themselves to other people for no reason. And to Anis, I think try not to, and just try to understand that you're on your own path, and that life will kind of work out. We had Taman on the show not too long ago, and he said something that I thought was really interesting. It's just like life works out in its own way for different people, and I really like that. Instead of trying to follow someone else's path, just do your own thing and let that work out for itself. Yeah.
Agree.
Okay, you guys are going off to Dubai next week, so I don't want to keep you too long. You have to do PhD stuff, you have to do physical training, and then you have to go for training tonight. But thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for
today.
having us.
And all the best in Dubai. Hopefully we come back having beaten, what was it, Kenya
and Namibia.
Yeah, and definitely the Americans. I feel like we should really give the Americans
We probably need your trash talking.
yeah. I think they deserve it after the tariffs.
Oh my god, yeah.
Right? I think so. Okay, so do everyone a favor and especially beat the Americans. Thank you guys to our viewers for watching and for sticking with us all the way to the end. Thank you to Audio Technica for powering the audio for this podcast. We'll catch you guys in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.